Introducing the epic new Swift. Time to go swifting.
वॉचो ऐप पे देखो एक OTT के दाम पे सारे OTT शान से.
May the rivalry resume. When India play Bangladesh in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, certainly in recent editions, you can expect drama in some form or the other. From Bengaluru 2016 to Adelaide 2022 and now Antigua 2024. It is an Indian team that is eyeing a semi-final spot that will be sealed should they get a result against Bangladesh, who could not manage to get the better of Australia at Antigua. But this is a day game. Maybe their fortunes will be different on a different day. So we build up to Super 8 and the tournament's match number 47 on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPNcricinfo TimeOut, powered by Dish TV. Watch out. Anil Kumble with me, and we will hear from Tamim Iqbal. And today, Anil, we have to sit back, have a nice mug in our hand, cup of coffee, because we're going to ask Tamim to give us some stories on India-Bangladesh rivalries.
No, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure. It's good to see you, Tamim.
Yeah. Tamim, come on, let's go. Let's go. Forget everything else about the match now. I've got Tamim Iqbal, the great Tamim Iqbal, who's played so many of those games that I mentioned. Tell me a little. I won't talk about that 2007 game that both of you
please
played.
Don't. No.
That's not part of the rivalry.
No, even I didn't. Yeah, I was sitting and watching the game though. I didn't play.
Yeah, in the squad.
Yeah, in the squad, yes.
But I'm not going so far back.
No, please don't.
Tamim, storytelling time. Tell us a little bit about the India-Bangladesh rivalry from the Bangladesh perspective.
I think it's all started in 2015, especially with that no ball controversial that was against Bangladesh, and maybe the replay showed there was something else. But I think Rohit got 100 in that game, and he was on 70 or 80 when that particular thing happened. So I think it started from there, and it's more not between the players. I'll say it's more between the two countries' fans, and a lot to do in Facebook. I think.
Come on, Tamim. Don't tell me it's not to do with the players, and more with the fans. Come on, Tamim.
No, I'll tell you. I've just started. You need to wait for the climax.
Sorry. I'm going to be patient.
Yeah, and then right away after that particular game, India came to Bangladesh for a bilateral series. Everything was heated up because of what happened in Australia in 2015 World Cup, and we eventually managed to win that series, and that gave a lot more fuel to that the whole incident. I think it's always fun playing against India. We have grown up watching India play in international cricket with some of the legends have played for India. But in the recent past, there is a history. I won't deny it. But if Bangladesh manages to win India today, I can tell you that the whole country will be very, very happy.
Yeah, you can't withhold that smile just saying the lines. And I really hope for your sake we get a good contest and a good game. If anything, if they do manage the result today, that's perhaps a monumental achievement looking at the form of the two teams in this tournament at least, Anil?
Yeah, I think, Bangladesh, since the time that they started playing at the international level, I think one country that to me has underachieved has been Bangladesh. I mean, over the years, they've had some wonderful players as individuals, but collectively as a team in world events, they have certainly underachieved. Yes, bilateral series at home, they have certainly got the better of a few teams, but overall, Bangladesh haven't really been the kind of sort of Sri Lanka. If you think of Sri Lanka in 1996, they already they won the World Cup in '96. They started 10, 12 years prior to that coming into international scene. So that's something that I think Bangladesh, the kind of talent, the kind of sort of support that you have for cricket in Bangladesh is massive. All the stadiums are packed whenever you have an international match playing Bangladesh.
100%.
And I feel, this is one tournament where they seem to have got some bits and pieces. I mean, they've worked really hard. They've got to the Super 8s. They have an opportunity today. If they put together a good team performance, I think they'll run India close. But if it is just depending on a couple of individuals, then I'm afraid it won't be a contest.
I wonder if they'd be even happier after the result of the toss now in this day game at Antigua. Tamim, Shantosh called right. Bangladesh will bowl first. So your reactions, whether this is an important toss looking at especially Bangladesh's batting form in this tournament?
Yes, definitely. Because they need to restrict India to 160. If India goes over 160, 170, it will be always going to be difficult for Bangladesh, because the way India is bowling at the moment, and the Indian fast bowlers are bowling at the moment, and the way Bangladesh is batting at the moment. So it's going to be very challenging for Bangladesh. But I hope there is something for the bowlers in the wicket today, maybe a little bit of spin. As I mentioned last time, that there are few players from Bangladesh and India who has great matchups. And I really hope that Bangladesh starts well, because to beat team like India, you have to start really well with the bat and with the ball. And they need to pick up early wickets. And if they manage to do it, they can put India under a little bit of pressure. But if they don't, then India has a very, very solid batting attack that we all know.
All right, let's confirm team news. We were wondering whether India would have any changes looking at the opposition or the conditions. It's the same team that got the better of Afghanistan a couple of days back in Barbados, where Kuldeep Yadav featured for the first time, and he will continue in his role as potentially the third spin option that India have. No changes anywhere else, as this looks to be now the set team, Anil Kumble, that India might very well carry on with come the business end.
Yes, they have all the options covered. They have three, really world-class spinners, three fast bowlers there, Jasprit Bumrah leading the fast bowling attack. So they have all bases covered. We did discuss about why India is looking to play two left-arm spin all-rounders, is because they want to take the batting deep up to number 8, and that's the template that they have gone with. So yes, I don't see India changing until and unless the conditions demand for a fast bowler like Siraj to come into the lineup. So going forward, I think India will certainly look to play three spinners, even against Australia in the next game.
Is that a call perhaps that they've taken regardless then of what the evidence is suggesting at Antigua? Just breaking down some numbers, some ground information. And of course, a lot of these grounds were only recently refurbished and saw T20I cricket trends and patterns sometimes are without context. But we have seen Pacers pick up nearly 60, or bowled really 60% of the overs, and they've picked up twice as many wickets to the spinners' economy rate, also on the better side along with the average.
Yes, but I think India is certainly looking at Kuldeep to be that match-winning bowler in the middle overs. That's something that India don't have. With the two spinners, they're mostly defensive, Jadeja and Akshar Patel. And Mohammad Siraj is mostly a new ball power play bowler. And India certainly need somebody in the middle to pick up wickets. And that's one thing that they are looking to sort of fix. And if they can do that consistently, with Kuldeep being there, he's an attacking option. He will certainly pick wickets. He may go for runs, but he will certainly be always looking to pick wickets. And if India can do that consistently in those middle period, then the attack will be really potent.
Okay, interesting that Bangladesh actually do make a change. Taskin Ahmed misses out, and they brought Jakar Ali back, who was dropped in the last game because they wanted the extra off-spin option of Mahedi Hassan, who keeps his place in the side. So they're effectively just going a seamer light and adding to their batting. Tamim?
Yeah, a bit surprised. I think Taskin has been bowling exceptionally well, and why he was dropped, that's a very surprising thing for me. And especially for Mahedi Hassan, I think Mahedi is a fantastic new ball bowler. Mind you, India's top two are two righties, so it will be interesting to see if Mahedi starts with it. Yes, India has a lot of left-hand batsmen. Then Mahedi has to bowl a lot of overs in the middle, which goes against his strength. He's still a good bowler, but it goes against his strength. He's always been very good whenever he's bowling in the power play. So that it will be interesting to see how Mahedi does today, but very, very surprising call, leaving out Taskin. I think it's quite a big call for Bangladesh.
Absolutely. It completely changes the balance of the bowling attack too, where you only have two seam options now, if you're Najmul Shanto.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised. I was thinking that if they're going to drop a Taskin, then you might as well go with Shoriful, because he's quite skillful as a left armer. But really surprising that they've gone with an all-rounder batter rather than another fast bowler. So just the two seamers. They're bowling first. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they've opted to bowl first, because they're thinking that, okay, whatever India gets, we'll try and get one run more and add up to the batting. I mean, Mehdi can bat as well. We've seen that. He's a good batter, but really surprised. So I don't think they will change the sort of template that they have. Mehdi will still probably open the bowling or bowl in the power play. Even though India has two right-hand batters, he'll still have to do that role, because otherwise, death overs will be a bit of a challenge for Bangladesh with just the two seamers.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last game we did see, the last day game, we saw Bangladesh go down to Australia in an evening game, but South Africa and USA in the opening Super 8 game seemed pretty good surface, high scoring.
No, I think it's a good surface. We've seen Antigua has been a good surface, probably the second best when you compare results or scores from St. Lucia to Antigua in the Caribbean. So, yeah, a bit surprised that they've gone one bowler light on a good surface. You would go the other way around generally. On a good batting surface, you generally go with an additional bowler.
Yeah.
But Bangladesh seem to have fallen on one bowler short and then going the additional batter.
Yeah, I think this is a big talking point here, and we're going to revisit this at the end of the first innings itself with Bangladesh bowling first. It'll also be interesting to see how Najmul Hussain Shanto manages the two seamers that Anil Kumble points out. Now he has to, he can't necessarily bowl Mustafizur Rahman or Tanzid Shakib extensively with the new ball, which is something we have seen him do in the past. Right, we'll come to that in a little while. Let's just look at the head-to-head record, and I want to spend some time with Tamim on this, because for all the rivalry talk and whatnot, the results have not gone Bangladesh's way. Yes, they beat India in an ODI series at home, which was a terrific achievement when India were there recently. But the T20I record still remains lopsided in favour of India. I wonder, Tamim, with all the noise that you rightly say, and I'm sure at some point it does seep in through the world of social media or wherever to the players, do they sometimes drop the ball when it comes to India with all the noise and emotion, almost a distraction when you play India, which perhaps has fallen short with the performance?
It really does happen, and to be very honest, generally speaking, Bangladesh is didn't have a great success in T20s either. Bangladesh, I think, if I be really honest, ODI is one format that Bangladesh has done reasonably well if you compare to Test and or T20s, and India is probably one of the best teams in the world. But as I rightly mentioned, that it's less among the players, it's more among the fans, and this is something that Bangladesh will really look to change. I just saw the numbers. It's not very pleasing if you are a Bangladeshi or a Bangladeshi cricketer. I'm sure this is something that Bangladesh really needs to change, and then have a proper contest between teams like India.
Absolutely. Fair enough, though. I want to spend some time with Tamim because he was part of some of those cracking games, dramatic games that that record could easily have changed, most likely in Bengaluru in 2016. Bangladesh should have won that game. It was a bizarre final 3 wickets of 3 balls, including a run out that MS Dhoni charged with the ball in hand to the stumps to find Mustafizur Rahman's shot. Tamim Iqbal remembers that day. Tamim, any memories, anecdotes from that day? It was a game Bangladesh had. I just want to take you back to that day.
Not a great memory. Before saying that, I think yes, our stats looks really bad, but somehow whenever Bangladesh is playing India in the recent past, India has won majority of it, but the games have been really close and really interesting. So that's how people gets more excited about these two contests. Regarding that particular game, the simple answer is we should have won that game regardless of anything. There's a say that you don't celebrate too early. I think I was one that was guilty of it. I was sitting at the dressing room, and Anil bhai will know when things are going well, you sit on the same place, you don't change it. So when we were very close of winning, I think we needed 2 or 3 runs. I got so excited, I actually ran down to the ground. I was hoping there will be a boundary or a 2, then I'll actually run down to Mushfiq or Mahmudullah to celebrate. So the world teaches you a lesson. I think that's something that I have learned in my cricketing career, that you do not celebrate too early.
Yeah, I can't blame Tamim, because the man in the middle, Mushfiq, remember after those 4 leg byes went, he was the one who said, "Yup, this game's done," and it almost spread to the rest of the team. That was a get out of jail for India.
Yeah, it was. I mean, otherwise India would have been out of that competition.
Yes, yes.
You know, that game was really, really important for India to win, and that's the only option for them was, you know, if they win, then they continue in that competition. Yes, like Tamim mentioned, I mean, you don't celebrate early, especially in this format. Anything can happen. We saw that yesterday with South Africa and England. You know, it was sort of seesaw. Last
Absolutely.
5 overs, and then suddenly England must have thought that, you know, they were really literally through with 25 runs of 18 balls. But then again, you know, things change. So that's how this format is. So you don't celebrate till the last ball is bowled. Imagine the coaches sitting there and watching. It'd be a nightmare for them, because the players, yes, of course, they're in the heat of things. But as coaches, you're so desperate to sort of say, okay, come on, let's get this over and done with. But then suddenly things change, and yeah, it was one of those moments for Bangladesh, which I'm sure they rue, but a lesson learned. So if they are in a similar position today, they'll be chasing again. Yeah, so they may be in that kind of a situation again.
Yeah, that was just chapter 1 of this thrilling drama series. It can actually be a web series. Chapter 2 came very soon after. It was a cup final, the Nidahas Trophy, which we remember in Colombo. Dinesh Karthik, of course, is known for that 8-ball player of the match innings. And Anil Kumble points out, don't celebrate till the last ball. Literally the last ball. Tamim, I'm sorry, I don't want to unearth unpleasant memories, but we're just having some fun, and I'd love to get your insights since you're with us for the first time in this tournament as an analyst.
I think it's better if I cut myself and you can send me some salt and some
No,
salt and
no,
chili.
Tamim.
It's better.
Okay, how about this, Tamim? Even though we don't have the scorecard, I promise we'll discuss 2007 Port of Spain also at the end of it. Okay, that's a decent, that's a part.
Okay.
But for now, the Nidahas Trophy, which was a very heated tournament. The Bangladesh-Sri Lanka rivalry in that tournament also, the previous game, the Soumya Sarkar final delivery, just fond memories if you have any, or rather just memories as you reflect upon it.
I think if you see the whole tournament was very high scoring game. And not the final was not that much of a high scoring game. And I think Bangladesh did exceptionally well to pull that game till the last ball. At one point, Bangladesh was winning, and then came Dinesh Karthik. You know, that 1 over from Rubel Hussain changed the whole momentum of it. I think, if I'm not wrong, Vijay Shankar was the one who was batting, and he was struggling a bit. He was not hitting the ball quite well. We shouldn't have catched him. Maybe should have dropped him. Dinesh Karthik should have been in the dressing room. No, tactically you can do it sometimes. I think tactically you can do it, and I think I think that was the biggest mistake that Bangladesh did, catching Vijay Shankar that particular day. I think Vijay Shankar is again very good cricketer. I'm not by any means making him small or anything. Probably that particular day wasn't his day, and probably it was Dinesh Karthik day. Anil bhai, I need to ask you something. It's something that I never enjoyed in Bangladesh when Bangladesh's management or somebody makes a comment in the media. See, if you are in a position, let's say you're coaching Bangladesh, okay, and if you are in a position where Bangladesh is at the moment, okay, and you're going for a World Cup, okay, my understanding is when you're going for a World Cup, you're going to win it. Regardless of your position, you're going to a tournament, you're going to win it. So whether it's a captain, whether it's the coach, when they sit in the media, they need to say, yes, we're going to win it. Rather than, no, we're going to participate. Oh, we are happy to go to Super 8s and we are done. Anything else is bonus. I really, really don't like this kind of comments. I think this gives a very wrong message to the fans, which we have in millions. And the way they support us, I don't think they deserve to hear something like this. Whether we can, whether we can't, that's a different story. But before a game or before a tournament like World Cups, you need to say that, yes, I'm going there to win it. Because if you can't say that, then it shows that you don't have that amount of confidence in yourself, rather than what the world thinks. That's completely different. What do you have to say about this?
No, absolutely. I agree with you. I mean, the last thing that you want to hear from a coach or a management or a captain is to say, look, we have come here to participate. No matter what lineup you have, no matter what squad you have, you try and strategize within the personnel and the talent that you have to win every game. And I'm really surprised if the team management has gone there and said, look, we have come here to just do it.
If you'd allow me, is there a recent context to this, Tamim? I don't know if I've missed something, but I do remember in the ODI 50 overs World Cup, Shakib before the India game said, we're not here to win the World Cup. India are here to win the World Cup. Now we thought it was perhaps mind games and he's just sort of putting the pressure back onto India.
I asked Anil bhai in general because I think Bangladesh always is reluctant saying this. That we are going to win the World Cup.
No, it's a very good point.
About the mentality.
See, I can understand when you first come onto the scene, when you're playing. I mean, I can understand a USA coming in and saying, okay, although, within the group, you're still trying to tell them that, look, this is a tournament that you can go there and win. But a team like Bangladesh, that's what I said. They've underachieved in world tournaments. Maybe because, that's the mindset of some of the players, or at least it's there. It's not said. Sometimes when you don't say it, the body language sort of gives away.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe that's one of the reasons. So I'm surprised. The last thing that you want a team to even think of is to just go there and be a part of the tournament. You're going at every tournament to win. And you need to start thinking and believing that you can win. And only when you do that, it doesn't happen if just 2 or 3 players in the squad think that way.
Yep.
Every member in the squad, irrespective of whether he's playing or not, the support team, every individual in the squad needs to think that they're out there to win. And that's the kind of environment that you need to create for any team to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, example of US is a good one with Aaron Jones after the South Africa game, not saying, oh, we're thrilled to be here.
Correct.
Saying we should have won that game.
Yes.
No one expects USA to go all the way, but that's the mentality you speak of. And maybe I can actually take it to 2007, Tamim. It's a nice time when, you yourself and Mushfiq and Shakib were starting off and you beat an Indian side, which Anil was part of, that squad where they were favourites, strong, or at least a strong team going into that World Cup, and perhaps a different attitude and mentality back then when things started and you recorded that epic win?
No, that's a very different thing because I was extremely new in international cricket. I think I was playing the 3rd or the 4th game. I still remember we were in Trinidad and there was a big walk towards to go to the lobby and then to the bus. And fortunate enough for me, when I came out of my room, I saw Sachin Tendulkar walking with me, holding his 2 bats under his arm. And my only focus was to see his bat, what kind of bat he used. So I finally touched his bat and all of those things. I still remember when I was playing that game, I was not at all focused, to be very, very honest, because I was playing against some individual that I have always dreamt of watching them bat or watching them bowl. So I was very happy to be in the same ground with them, whether it's Sachin Tendulkar, whether it's Rahul Dravid, whether it's Yuvraj Singh, which I think is the most beautiful batsman in the world. You name it, everybody was there. So I was so excited, and I've said this many times in many of my interviews. Before facing Zahir Khan, I've never ever faced 140 kilometers sliver in my life. All I faced in Bangladesh was 125, 130s. And when I was extremely nervous before facing him. And the first delivery happened 142 or 141. I thought, oh, you can see that. You can actually play it. And I was actually very lucky enough. The next ball, I got a half volley that went for 4. And then it just kept on connecting. It happened. But it was a big victory for Bangladesh. I think confidence-wise, it was a great victory. Yes, we can say a lot of things now and here and there. But I think India did make a mistake. India should have bowled first in that particular wicket because it wasn't a great wicket to bat on. That became a great advantage for Bangladesh, and for us to take our cricket forward, and was a great thing. What happened in 2007? Yes, we can say about this rivalry and that, but I think that game changed Bangladesh cricket financially. If you think about fan-wise, everything, that particular game changed a lot of things.
Certainly, it put Bangladesh on the map, truly. They had one in the World Cup before, but that was a win that...
Oh, that was, yeah, of course.
India remembers with
of course.
bittersweet emotion.
It wasn't great for us, but like Tamim mentioned, it was a bit sticky and we got batted first, didn't get going at all. And that's what cost us the game. I mean, we had already lost to Sri Lanka, and then, this became a bit of a do or die, because if you lost this, then
And this was the first game, wasn't it? I think this was the
This
first.
was the first
and then
game.
there
Oh,
No,
okay,
this
Sri
was the
Lanka game.
Yeah.
This is the first game.
This was the first
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we got. I mean, similar thing happened
Tamim
against
remembers
Sri
it
Lanka
like
as
it's
well.
yesterday.
I know.
17 years.
Yeah, so it was one of those, one of those things where you sort of go in and say, okay, runs on the board, but didn't work out for us. But they batted really well, and they also bowled well.
I think you were done with this format after that World Cup.
Oh
wasn't
yes,
it?
yeah, it was
ODI
done
format.
much before, but
Rahul, what I will like to add one thing about Bangladesh cricket, as Anil Bhai said a few minutes ago, that I agree to Anil Bhai that as a team wise, Bangladesh has not achieved what it should have achieved, especially in ICC trophies or ICC World Cup, Champions Trophy, whatever. But I think one thing that has changed, I don't know if will you consider this as a development or not, but I consider it as a big change. Let's say 10 years ago, when crowd used to go to watch Bangladesh play, they knew the result beforehand. They knew Bangladesh is going to lose. They knew this is going to happen. I think in last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, this has changed. When a crowd goes to a game now of Bangladesh playing anyone, they're not sure what the result is going to be. They know that Bangladesh has a chance. I think this is something that Bangladesh has achieved in last couple of years.
Yeah, I think that's
no. So I agree that yes, that's one of the reasons why I believe that they are a really good side. They can certainly go all the distance, and I'm glad that the belief is there, and it's just a matter of time that it may happen. Younger lot we've seen in this tournament itself.
100%.
They've come through really well.
Under 19 men's champions not
Correct.
so long ago. That
Correct.
batch is now sort of growing.
Yes, and
they came here with a tough group. They beat
Yeah.
Sri Lanka to make it to the Super Eights.
correct,
Yeah.
and it was not easy as well. In United States, the pitches weren't special, so they had to sort of literally scratch through and do
Yes.
it. Excuse me.
Yep.
So they certainly have the ability to come through, and today could be the day.
All right. Well, we know that they also get terrific support. That's something we've seen, and we expect nothing less in Antigua a little while from now. Now, Tamim, Iqbal did point out a little while back that there are some very curious matchups when it comes to India v Bangladesh. Let's quickly run through those pertinent to the first innings, with India being sent into bat now. So let's just have a quick look at Rohit Sharma first up, who would be looking for runs. Rohit and Kohli getting a partnership together. Rohit has had a half century so far in the tournament. Set some scores. We put into context the tough batting conditions in New York. But this is Rohit v left arm pace. How much left arm pace can you throw at him in the power play, looking at the two seamers now? Tamim, I guess, is the big question. Mustafizur, how much can you spare him for Rohit Sharma at the top?
Now that has become difficult now. If you bowl Mustafiz 2 overs up front, then he can only bowl 2 overs at the back. He cannot bowl you in the middle if the game demands him to bowl in the middle. So it's really difficult, especially when Taskin is not here. But mind you, Saqib is a great matchup with Rohit. I think if you see Saqib's stats over the years in T20, the lowest strike rate against Saqib, the top 5, if you list the top 5 batsmen, Rohit and Virat Kohli's name will be there. I think Virat is striking at 87 against Saqib, and Rohit is striking at 100 against Saqib. So this is something that I'm sure Bangladesh will be aware. And Saqib has picked up this Rohit and Virat in the. I think Saqib has to bowl in the power play at least 2 overs.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lovely matchup. The only two players who've played every edition of the Men's T20 World Cup, Rohit and Saqib Al Hasan. Wait to see how that goes. For now, Mehdi Hasan started off, and Rohit Sharma's already looking to take him on. Rishad Hossain's another player I want to quickly discuss with you, Anil Kumble. You've been very impressed with him. India would be hoping that they counter Rishad Hossain's threat, the likes of Dubey and Pant and perhaps even the openers. But do you see Rishad being a threat at this venue?
I think so. I think he will certainly bowl well. What has been very impressive has been his consistent length that he bowls, and then he turns the ball enough to the right-handers and to the left-handers as well against the Australians. He was one standout bowler. When the two openers were literally going hammer and tongs to the rest of the bowlers. He's been very impressive. He's only 21. This is his first major tournament, and he gets the bounce because of his height. And the pace at which he bowls, he has tremendous control. So I think one thing that he may possibly add going forward is his googly. If he can do that, then I think he'll be a really complete bowler, which is really good to see in a young leg spinner.
All right. On that note, key phase of this first innings, Anil Kumble, that you think would be decisive in how the game shapes?
I think the first 6 overs. I think these two openers, I know they haven't really scored much in this tournament so far, but both Virat and Rohit will have to up the ante, because this is going to be, although it's a good surface, you still need a good start for you to keep the momentum going. I certainly believe that India needs to step up in that first 6 overs and then, put up a score in the first 6 where they look to dominate.
The score you're looking at here, South Africa got 194 in the last day game here.
Yeah, I think 180 plus is something that I think India needs, on the surface. Like I mentioned, Bangladesh certainly have that additional batter in their lineup, so you don't want to take any chances.
Yeah.
You would want to get to a score where you feel comfortable.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether they take on a few more bowlers, looking at the limited pace options that Najmul has. Tamim, phase that you think will be crucial in deciding the course of this innings, and the first innings prediction score from you as well, please.
I think Bangladesh middle over bowling will be really crucial. When you don't have Taskin, Bangladesh middle over bowling has to be very crucial, because when the middle overs will be on, I hope the India's middle order will be batting. Someone like Surya Kumar Yadav, who has been in top form. Someone like Rishabh Pant, who is very unorthodox. So Bangladesh, it's very important how Bangladesh bowls in the middle over. And if Bangladesh can restrict India for, let's say, 160, Bangladesh will have a chance. Anything above, it will be extremely difficult for Bangladesh.
Excellent. Let's pick up the chats then at half-time. In another World Cup game in the Caribbean, 17 years on, Bangladesh play India. Not at Trinidad this time, it's in Antigua. But Tamim, Iqbal and Anil Kumble will reflect upon how things stand at the end of the India innings. Thank you, gentlemen. Join us then for analysis on Maruti Suzuki Arena Presents ESPNcricinfo TimeOut, powered by Dish TV. Watcho, do download the mobile app if you haven't already. The fastest scores and so much more as Rohit Sharma looks to take on Mahedi. And we also know now that Shanto's come in with a plan to attack with spin from both ends. Shakib is going to partner Mahedi with the new ball. So fascinating trial by spin awaits us. Let's see how it shapes up at the end of the India innings.
Introducing the epic new Swift. Time to go swifting.
वॉचो ऐप पे देखो एक ओटीटी के दाम पे सारे ओटीटी शान से।
Watch